But we're going to get into the biggest topic. That is obviously Zach Wilson. I think we all agree that this was his best career game, including the game in Tennessee, as flashy and exciting as that one was overall from the aspect of being an NFL quarterback and managing the game and going through the process. I thought he was clearly improved, and this was his best game by far. Most importantly, I think it started right away, quite honestly, with Braxton Berrios' return. I think he gets them down to the 20-yard line, and everybody on that offense just took a big sigh of relief, and they were comfortable and calm and confident. And we saw what it was like for Zach Wilson when he's able to start a game with confidence. It was really, really important for him, and it was really, really, it was a hot start. And I hope that it's something that he can continue in the future. Vitor, I know you were already getting into his film article come out on Jet X Factor today about his great performance. Go ahead and tell us what you saw.
Well, I saw a much more comfortable and calm Zach Wilson against the Philadelphia Eagles. Early in the game, Braxton Berrios' big return sparked everybody, and Michael LaFleur had a clear plan to start the game. I'm going to give Zach Wilson quick and easy completions. I'm going to give Zach Wilson easy coverage indicators because the Eagles are not going to disguise much. And that's what he did. The Jets waited until the second quarter, third drive to throw the ball past 10 yards downfield for the first time on a scheme-defined play-action deep curl to Elijah Moore. It was a very vanilla game plan for Zach Wilson, yes, but there are some things that are abstract that we could sense with Wilson in this game that we could not in the past game against the Houston Texans. Wilson was clearly calm in the pocket. He was going through his reads. He took the underneath stuff gladly. He was not like, I might take this hitch route here, but first let me take a peek into the second level throw that I have. No, it was like the hitch's open, I'm going to take it. The quick game's there, I'm going to take it. Was not perfect. This game was not perfect, but Wilson by any means. Some inaccuracies and quick game concepts. He even said after the game that he cannot throw that ball to Tevin Coleman in the flat that hit it in the helmet. He's got to be more friendly to his receivers in the short stuff. But overall, guys, just a good game. Very similar to the Zach Wilson that we saw in the preseason in some spots against Carolina in week one. Like Andrew told me on Twitter today, this move operator, right? That slant route to Jamison Crowder. If you guys didn't catch in the review, I posted it on my Twitter. It's like, okay, I know who I have to manipulate here, who I'm going to go to, who I'm going to throw the football to. How do I have to progress? And the feet in sync with the head and his mind, something that we aren't seeing after that week 2 disaster against the Patriots. So very encouraging game. And honestly, training up, it's training up. And we're going to talk about the Saints matchup in the field, but the Eagles game, guys, it was a good tape to watch. Some more decisions, better footwork, calmer Zach Wilson. And I hope this is just the beginning of a good December stretch.
Yeah. And my hat's off to the offensive line. I predicted a worse blowout than it actually was, mostly because I thought that the Eagles defense was just going to be running ruckshaw all over our offensive line, but they actually held their own and they gave Zach the time to get comfortable and to make the plays that he needed to make. And like you mentioned, there were a lot of passes that were completions that were probably a little inaccurate. There was a quick pass to Corey Davis that was definitely behind him. Corey Davis kind of bailed him out, and it was kind of a trend. His receivers kind of bailed out poorly placed throws, or throws that didn't have as much touch on them as they should have. But then in the second half, I saw a little bit more touch when that throw that Corey Davis dropped. So I did see a lot of growth from Zach. And I hope he springboards off of this for a second showing against the Saints.
Yeah, definitely. He was certainly, I think, calm is the word. And we're seeing what happens when he has the ability to be calm and he's not pressured or overthinking. And like we've said for months now, a lot of that is going to come with experience. And we're hoping going into year 2 that he makes the second year leap that a lot of NFL players do. And I think that he's the perfect candidate for the type of guy to do that. But yeah, there was a lot to like. There was some things you would like to clean up, but there was, in my opinion, more to like than there was to dislike. overall, it was a really, really solid game. On that throw to Corey Davis, which was a good throw by Zach Wilson, and I think we all were upset with Corey Davis for dropping it. That was the play he got hurt on and is now out for the season because he needs surgery for. So I'm going to be a little less critical on that particular play, because if he was injured in the middle of it and that's what caused him to not be able to go up for the pass in the same way that I think he normally would have, I can understand it. But we're seeing the growth of Zach to take a deeper shot and try and make a good throw and use your arm talent when it's the right decision. Corey Davis was open. The flat defender was covering the little underneath drag. Corey Davis was the next one in their progression. It's just their boot concept levels read that we've seen them run a lot all year. And he's there to make the throw if he can put it in the right spot. And he did. And so I hope that's something that we can see in the future. Continue picking up where he left off in more ways than just one. Build on the completions, build on the touchdowns, build on the solid drives, but also go back, improve on what needs to be improved on as well. Take everything as a whole. This was not a perfect game, but it was a very, very solid game, and it was very encouraging. I was really, really glad to see that after a shaky first week back in Houston, and the team was still able to get a win despite him not playing his best, that he was able to come out after another week, reset himself. Very obviously, like you said, Vitor, he's very self-aware, know what he needs to address it, learn it, adapt it, fix it in a week, and get better. We're seeing improvement. And that's what we were hoping to see. This is his second game back since he's coming back from injury, and it was the best game of his career. That's what we were hoping for. I think we should all be pretty happy.
Yeah. And just a quick point before we move on. It's just very clear when you watch tape how this offense as a whole is better, right, than when Zach was playing before the injury in week 6. And Mike LaFleur, he is just much more comfortable calling everything right now. The offensive line is a lot better. The running back, Tevin Coleman, is better right now than he was early in the season. Ryan Griffin is a better player than he was early in the season. And last year, it's like he took off some rust. And Elijah Moore right now, he is already an elite NFL wide receiver, which he was not early in the season. So Zach, the moment he now understands that, hey, the pieces around me are better and I can just play my game and don't need to be a hero. The moment he realizes that, and I think he already did, things are just going to keep trending upwards.
Yeah, definitely. I think so too. I really think that this is a kid that is just only going to get better with experience, where you don't have to, you really don't have to teach him to read coverage. You don't have to teach him to understand how to watch tape. You don't have to teach him how to be a pro. You don't have to teach him how to be a leader. You don't have to teach him how to throw his mechanics better, unless, like we saw, they broke down in Houston and he fixed it. He was much better mechanically. He just needs reps and experience. And the more Zach Wilson gets to get comfortable with his receivers, get chemistry with Elijah Moore, a bunch of different opportunities are going to start paying off. There's a couple of shots he had to Elijah Moore in this game that I thought could have been completions that were really, really close, that I think will be completions in the future. That's just going to take chemistry and timing. And as the season goes on and as we go into future years, I really think that duo is going to be really special.
Yeah, we were talking offline again about that Moore play where Moore puts on a clinic with his route running, and then he looks like he breaks the wrong way. He looks like he breaks inside with inside coverage from the defender, and Zach made the right read and throws it outside.
Yeah,
and like you said, with time that will come with the chemistry. But then it reminded me to earlier in the season with Corey Davis, where the defender had inside coverage and Corey Davis was making an inside route, and he misread that coverage. So it's good to see that growth, and I hope it continues.
Yeah. And the good thing with Zach Wilson to go back and remember is that as much as this is growth, it's also a little bit of regressing back to who he is, because that was one of my favorite traits about him at BYU, was his ability to read defenders' leverage and basically throw guys open. Where if he knew somebody was covered, and he said it himself, I remember clipping out the interview he had beginning of his middle of his junior year after the Houston game, I believe, where he was talking about studying Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees, and how if the defender's back is turned and you can throw it to where he's not looking, that even if he's covered, that receiver's still open. And the quote I've said over and over is, a good ball beats a good coverage every day. And he's right. We're seeing him get back to that. we're seeing him revert back to who he is and get comfortable. And that's why I said being calm is so important, because this is him calming down. This is him settling in. This is week 13. He knows the playbook now. He's not having to remember the verbiage. He's not having to, remember where is my read on this play. He's practiced it now. He's been in the meetings. He's gotten more comfortable. And the more comfortable he gets, I think he's only going to get better.
Yeah, agree.
That's the hope.